As the leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy, I also know that our country will be stronger if we act together, and our actions will be more effective.
That's my judgment as Commander-in-Chief. But I'm also the President of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
Did you guys catch that? We're the oldest constitutional democracy? No, my friend. America is a constitutional republic, not a democracy.
The very fact is that if you ask 100 people on the street, what kind of government is America supposed to be? 99% of them will tell you a democracy. America is supposed to be a democracy. But that's a lie. That's an illusion.
There's a very good reason that our Pledge of Allegiance refers to our country as a republic. And there is a very good reason that our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution do not even mention the word democracy. Many people are under the false impression our form of government is a democracy. Even the president.
As the leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
It's not in the Bill of Rights. It's not in the Declaration of Independence. The Founding Fathers hated the idea of a democracy. They thought it was the worst form of government there is, and I agree with them.
James Madison, rightly known as the father of the Constitution, wrote in essay number 10 of the Federalist Papers, "Democracies have ever been spectacles of turbulence and contention, have ever been found incompatible with personal security or the rights of property, and have in general been as short in their lives as they have been violent in their deaths." Samuel Adams, a signer of the Declaration of Independence, stated, "Democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself."
That's my judgment as Commander-in-Chief. But I'm also the President of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
He reminded us he's the President of a constitutional democracy. He called it a constitutional democracy. It's really, Mr. President, a constitutional republic. And we know he should have said that. We know what he meant.
Exactly, Lou Dobbs. We know what he meant. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. That he's the president of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
The ideal of a democracy is universal equality. The ideal of a constitutional republic is individual liberty. A democracy always degenerates into dictatorship, which promises government-guaranteed equality and security, but it delivers nothing but poverty and serfdom for the people it robs and rules. America was founded as a constitutional republic to safeguard the liberties of the people against the tyranny of democracy or of one-man dictatorship. In this century, great strides have been made toward the goal of subverting our republic into a democracy. The foremost tactic of the subverters is subversion of language. By calling America a democracy until people thoughtlessly accept and use the term, the totalitarians have obscured the real meaning of our principles of government.
As the leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy, I also know that our country will be stronger if we act together.
A democracy is a political system in which the people periodically, by majority vote at the polls, select their rulers. The rulers then have absolute power to make whatever laws they please by majority vote among themselves. In a constitutional republic, the people also, by majority vote at the polls, select rulers, who make laws by majority vote among themselves. But the rulers cannot make any laws they please because the Constitution severely restricts their lawmaking power. The ideal of a democracy is universal equality. The ideal of a constitutional republic is individual liberty. Note the following passages from a recent article distributed by the New York Times News Service. Quote, "In the United States and in other leading democracies, recent years have seen perceptible growth in executive authority. As society becomes more equalitarian, it tends increasingly to concentrate absolute power in the hands of one single man. This is a voluntary surrender of a free people escaping from freedom to one autocratic master," end quote. John Adams, one of the giants of the American Revolutionary period, said, "Democracy will envy all, contend with all, endeavor to pull down all. And when by chance it happens to get the upper hand for a short time, democracy will be revengeful, bloody, and cruel."
Eventually, the whole system came crashing down. They went from a republic to a democracy and ended up with an oligarchy under a progression of the Caesars. Productivity declined, shortages developed, and mobs began roaming the streets demanding bread and circuses from the government. Many were induced to trade freedom for security.
You know, and that's the truth. America's not a democracy, but you ask the most intelligent people what form of government America's supposed to be, they'll say democracy. Because that's what they've been brainwashed.
One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this.
The leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking.
The leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
They've been psyoped into believing that.
As the leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
So it wasn't just a gaffe, it wasn't just a slip of the tongue there, Lou Dobbs. He's said it multiple times now.
Democracy equals New World Order. Democracy equals slavery. The word democracy is not synonymous with freedom. It's the opposite of freedom.
The system was designed to prevent both tyranny by government and reckless rebellion by the people. We must restore it and keep it.
As the leader of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
Did you guys catch that? We're the oldest constitutional democracy? No, my friend. America is a constitutional republic, not a democracy.
That's my judgment as Commander-in-Chief. But I'm also the President of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
That's the true meaning of democracy.
Are we a democracy or a republic?
Wow.
We have given you a republic, Benjamin Franklin said, if you can keep it.
Wow, that's a
If
good
we
question.
can keep it.
Yeah.
So being a democracy sounds more easy. Being a republic sounds like hard work.
I think there's just accountability right now. I mean,
Accountability.
Yeah, well, republic, if you think about it, like there's just a sense of accountability. When you belong to a certain party right now, they're meshing together so extremely. Like it's just like there's no separation.
Does being part of one party or the other really matter anymore, or is it better to just be independent and do your own thing?
I think it's to do your own thing.
And what can you do toward that end? Your job, you who care and understand, is to help educate others.